Let's see here. Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Hey, what's up, everyone? I am Velanche, and finally getting this YouTube channel off the ground. Glad to have you with me, and I am really pleased to be with you. I am a DJ, and I am the founder of a DJ collective here in San Luis Obispo, California called Soul Dust Productions. We've been putting on amazing events over the last 3 years or so, and we have been just having an awful lot of fun doing it. We are mostly into soul and funk, but when I say that, I also mean that we have a variety of music that's kind of related to that. So we like house, and we like hip hop, and a variety of other different things. We've even played world music, and we have some 80s parties and 90s parties, and yeah, we just really love what we do, and it's a privilege to be able to do what we all enjoy as DJs. And we've also have a great local DJ community here. For this first video, I want to be able to shine a light on something that we have recently done. We have done a couple of DJ live streams. The result was a couple of live streams that we recently done, and through that I've learned some things. I want to be able to share some of these things with you so that if you decide to do a live stream, you will be prepared and ready, because yeah, we took a little bit of hard knocks, not too much, but you know, okay, I took a little bit of hard knocks. I was the one that had to kind of prepare for it. I just want to be able to let the rest of the DJs have fun. This is why I decided to create the video. So if you're thinking about doing a live stream, doesn't matter if you're doing it from your bedroom or you're doing it from a venue somewhere. These days, we all want to be able to remain safe, but we also want to be able to have good live streams. So that's why I'm here to be able to show you today. And I'm going to share with you some tips on how to get the most out of it. But before we go there, let's take a little trip over to the place where we did the live stream. Right now, I am at a satellite of a retail establishment here in San Luis Obispo, California. This is also where Soul Dust Productions recently have done the Unity DJ live stream session, which was a fundraiser for the folks at Race Matters, and where we have done our test stream the week before. And it's a great place here. There is vintage clothing, vintage furniture, there's books and magazines. There is just tons of great merchandise for you to be able to come through if you want to be able to sort that out. There are tourists that come through here as well as locals, and it's not just for just for shopping from time to time. They also have live entertainment here as well. And we're going to be back here about a week from now to be able to do the next live stream. And we wholeheartedly thank Malik, one of the members of Soul Dust Production, for lending his shop to do what we do. And we're so grateful for the presence of the store in the community. So yeah, now back to home. So the service that we decided to use for the live stream was Mixcloud Live. Now, probably a lot of you are out there like, wait a minute, what the hell is Mixcloud Live? Don't you do streaming on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram? Mixcloud itself isn't new. Mixcloud has been a service that DJs and selectors have used for years to be able to upload mixes to. So you have 30 days of being able to try it to see if you want to be able to use it. And if you do, then that's included with the Mixcloud Pro subscription that you would have to sign up for. And it's not that much, but you have to be able to decide if it's working for you. But I think it's working for our crew and for me, because I use that service too. And so that's what we decided to use and try out. So if you want to be able to go down the DJ live stream route, especially if you're doing video, I got tips for you based on my experience and the experience of the crew as DJs and as a collective. And of course, most of these tips will work if you're doing it from your bedroom solo. So with that, let's get to it. Number 1, make a checklist. Now, I know that most of us are pretty clever with everything in terms of trying to be able to keep up with what stuff do we have on hand for a live stream. When you're doing a live stream, when you're doing something this complex, it is vital that you have your list on you to be able to go through, especially before you leave your place or leave, wherever you keep your gear. Because there's nothing that sucks like having to be able to put off the stream for a little bit because you forgot something. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing some of those things that you should put on your checklist. But aside from the usual things like making sure you have your speakers and your mixer and the cables that go with the mixer and the needles and cartridges if you're doing turntables, or your power supply if you're doing the controller, those kind of things. So that's kind of important. Number 2, find your streaming software of choice. There's a variety of streaming software out there that you can be able to use for a live stream. OBS Studio seems to be way popular because that's free, but there's also Streamlabs, and there are others too. But the one that I decided to go with is Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is great for what I needed to be able to do. Was I needed something that wasn't going to take a lot of thought process to be able to try and pull everything together. Everything from the graphics to the scenes that I want to be able to switch to. So I want to be able to switch from, say, the webcam on the computer to the camera on the tripod on one side of the room to, say, maybe a phone that I'm using as a webcam on another tripod somewhere, for instance. So with Ecamm, you can also be able to have multiple cameras supported, including certain DSLRs that will support straight out of the box, and also your iOS devices. And you can be able to check your sound levels. For me, the ease of use was the main reason why I ended up getting Ecamm Live. It is a subscription, but if you want to be able to try it out for 30 days, Ecamm has it on its website. And there's also an excellent video series by Adrian Salisbury, and he collaborated with Ecamm to be able to put those series of videos out. It is free, and I will put a link to that YouTube playlist that has a series of Ecamm videos from Adrian Salisbury down in the show description. This goes to number 3, which is figure out what cameras you want to be able to use. So maybe you just want to be able to have a single camera, and that will do you. And you're either going to be doing it by yourself, or maybe other people will be able to go in front of it. Part of having a good experience, not just for you but your viewers, is to have the option of using multiple cameras in your presentation. So like I said, the Ecamm software can be able to support multiple cameras, and I'm sure that the other software out there can be able to do that too. So that's something you kind of want to plot out ahead of time. You don't want to have to do it when you get to the place of location, whether it's going to be in your bedroom or at a venue. Number 4, create any graphics to use for your videos ahead of time. Graphics can spice up your live stream. You can be able to just go out and film it straight through from beginning to end without having any graphics, but A, that will probably be awkward, and B, that probably wouldn't be good as far as you trying to promote yourself or try to do this in a professional way. One application that I use a lot is a program from Adobe called Spark Post. I love this program because I could be able to go inside that application. I can be able to find the design that I want, and I can be able to choose that design and then make it work for us. So that is something that I use all the time, and it's really good. You can be able to put in your own images if you want to. It's extremely versatile for what it can do. Plus, one really neat thing about it is that it doesn't assume that you have a graphic design degree or anything of that sort. It can make it so that when you actually lay out graphics or text, it will do its best to be able to line it up relative to other elements in the graphics. So that's really cool. That kind of takes the guesswork out of things. So you could be able to get that, or you could be able to get a program like Canva or Canva Pro, which is another popular application that's sort of like Post. But at the least, have a graphic that says that your stream is coming soon, and then have another one that introduces you to the audience, and then have one at the end that says thank you for watching. At the minimum, that's what you should have for your graphics, and like I said, that will make you look a bit more professional, and as opposed if you don't have that. Number 5, avoid Wi-Fi. Use Ethernet instead. Wi-Fi is great. Not so great when you're trying to do a DJ live stream, because all kinds of problems can happen with Wi-Fi. I wouldn't recommend that you use Wi-Fi unless, say, you're in the bedroom and then you know that you have decent Wi-Fi. If you have to use Wi-Fi, then at least test it out by using the speed test website at speedtest.net. Go on there and then try out the Wi-Fi connection. And if you are not able to get any more than 10 megabits a second going up, then your experience is going to be kind of poor. So in lieu of that, I would highly recommend that you choose Ethernet. You can be able to get an Ethernet cable, Cat 5 or 6 minimum, and you can be able to plug one end into your cable modem and the other end into your computer. And once you be able to get that and establish a connection, then you're going to have a much steadier stream as far as your internet goes. And in some cases, you can be able to boost the quality of the audio from within the streaming software of your choice. If you don't have an Ethernet connection on your computer, take a look at your connection and then do some homework and be able to see if you can be able to get an Ethernet adapter. But I'm telling you, have an Ethernet connection, you'll have a great experience. And if you go to a venue, ask to be able to use their Ethernet connection and tell them why do you want to be able to do it. And if they are gracious enough to be able to do it, you want to find out how long the cable should be, because if the cable isn't long enough, then it's not going to do you any good. Your computer has to be close enough to be able to get to the modem so that they can be able to get the connection. So be sure to plan that out ahead of time. Number 6, test your audio levels. You can have the best video in the world, but you can be able to have crappy audio coming through, and then no one's going to want to listen. In a DJ mix, audio is everything. I would say anything you have to see or listen to, audio is everything. So make sure that you check your audio. If you're serious about your sound being really good, you want to be able to invest in getting an audio interface. Audio interface will allow you to be able to plug in a sound source into it and then translate that sound source into data that can be read by the computer. You might be able to use the sound card from within your DJ mixer or controller to your computer. You could be able to do it that way. Or what I recommend, to be able to use an audio interface, especially if you want to be able to try to keep things like the microphone separate from your audio interface, because what if someone decides to boost the master or boost the sound in some way that is going to interfere with that microphone? Yeah, you want to be able to check the levels of whatever your sound source is against that of the streaming software, and then you can be able to adjust appropriately to taste. But if you take the time to do that beforehand, then it should be easy to do when you get to wherever you're going to go for your gig, if you're not doing it from your bedroom. Number 7, do a test run. So you got everything going. You got your camera connected. You have your streaming software working. You check those sound levels. You checked everything on your gear to be able to make sure that it's going to work. You have your music together, and you have a good internet connection. Give yourself a test, maybe about 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes, whatever it takes to be able to make sure that you get it right the first time. If it doesn't, and chances are good that it's not going to be right the first time, then that's the time where you can be able to make adjustments to try it again. The more you do this, the better things are going to be, because you're going to be learning along the way what goes right and what doesn't, and you can be able to keep adjusting until everything comes together. Get the word out and let everyone know about where your stream's going to be. Of course, you want to be able to get the word out. You want to be able to tell people where you're going to be. But it may be a good idea to be able to let them know where you're going to be ahead of time, if at all possible. Whatever service you're going to use, give people a heads up on where you're going to be. Alright folks, there you go. My tips for you for a smoother live stream. Now if you have any other questions about this, leave it down in the comments. And if you want to be able to have me actually demonstrate this stuff to you, I think that's going to be possible. Again, comment down below, let me know, and yeah, I'll get back to you. Thanks very much, and I'll be talking to you soon. Alright, peace.